Hey, how you doing? This is DJ Sabanjo here, and right now I just want to talk about where we are in the world and what we probably should be looking at doing. Sometime in 2020 when we first had COVID hit us, and then with COVID came the lockdown. For many of us, we had to then begin to evaluate and to begin to assess as everything just slowed down. In fact, some things ground to a halt. And when this happened, some of us started to reevaluate certain things. Like we began to ask ourselves about our work. Is it really meaningful? Do we get true satisfaction from it? Some of us began to evaluate our relationships. Our relationship really aligned? Are things the way we want them to be? Are we really happy with the state of our relationships? And basically with everything that went on, many of us began to step back and slow down and to begin to reprioritize and begin to realign our lives, which could be a good thing. However, what's going on right now is things are beginning to pick up again. Lockdowns are easing, with the introduction of the vaccine, people are beginning to step back into normal. The challenge for many of us, though, is it's very easy for us to just get back into that same old, the same stuff that a few months ago we were grateful that we have the opportunity to realign and reposition our lives. So what is it that I'm recommending we do? I'm going to say before we get back into the normal, it really could be helpful if you, for yourself, step back and reevaluate and define what you want your new normal to be. Talk about your work and fulfillment and joy. What does that really look like? What about your health, and your health and your fitness going forward? What do you want your new normal to be? Your relationships and, the diversity of relationships that you may have. What do you want them to look like, especially as we go into the new normal? And once you've defined that, ask yourself, how am I going to protect myself as we get into new routines and everything starts to pick up again, and the fast-paced world that we've kind of been away from begins to show up again? How am I going to protect myself and protect my world and ensure that I am more intentional about the life that I'm going to live as we enter into the new normal? Something to think about, because if you don't, you're going to get back into that rat race. You're going to get back into that same old cycle that a few months ago you'd actually stepped back and said, hold on, this is how I've lived my life so far. I don't want to live my life like that anymore. If you're not very clear about how you're going to protect the life that you want to design for yourself intentionally and do that, then we're going to get caught up. And before you know what's happening, we're doing the same old again. And the only time when you're going to have the opportunity to evaluate again might be when you're much older and when we're closer to the grave. And that's when you then step back and start saying, you know what, I wish I'd lived my life differently. Now we have the chance. Let's make sure we don't miss this opportunity to define how we want to live our lives and how we want our lives to be as we go back into the new normal. Hope this is useful for you. I hope you take something from it, and I hope you implement something that you take so that you can be intentional about the life that you're going to live. All right, hope this is useful. This is DJ Sabanjo, and keep on being the amazing individual that you are.